Hi, my name is Natalie, and I've been teaching and practicing tantric meditations for the past 10 years. And I do emotional work with men who want to understand the core reason for their dysfunctions in sexuality and in relationships and in their interactions with women. Today, I wanted to talk about an exercise that you can do as a couple. It's something that I've talked about in masturbation alone, but this is something that I feel that if we start to do this during sex and after sex, I think it can improve our sexual experiences a lot. And I think it can help us to connect to ourselves and to our partner in a more loving, connected, present way. So the exercise in general is to pause. And when I say pause, I literally mean to stop the sex, to exit the woman, and to lie next to her for I would say 3 to 5 minutes. You can hold each other's hand. It's not about not touching each other, but it's about pausing the sexual intercourse, the sexual interaction, and breathing for a minute. Now, why do we want to stop in the middle of sex and breathe? By the way, I do recommend you do it when you're at like 67, 70% in the sex. So just like in masturbation, when you're having sex with a woman, the sexual energy is going up and up and up and up and up to a point where, you have to ejaculate. And I know a lot of men have this premature ejaculation issue when they're having sex with women, but they don't actually have it when they're by themselves masturbating. So this is an issue that we can work on with ourselves in masturbation, but it's also something that we can work on with our partner. So the same in the masturbation exercise is for this exercise. You're having sex with someone, things are getting heated up, the sexual energy is rising and rising and rising. When you reach that 60, 70% point of no return, stop the sex. It's okay. Nothing bad is going to happen if you stop mid-sex. You can tell your partner before you do it that you're going to be doing this, and this is something that you can do together, because a lot of the times this exercise will help men kind of calm the energy down and spread it throughout their body, but it will also help the woman feel the sexual energy in her body, and it would even raise her sexual energy because you actually exited her. I don't know if a lot of you know this, but I am, from my experience as a woman, when the man goes, when it's really heated up and he actually goes out and waits a few minutes, that can make me want it more and raise the sexual energy more. So this is a good tip for all sides. So during the sex, when we reach the 60, 70%, we've told her ahead of time we're going to be doing this. We exit the woman, whatever posture we're in, we exit, and then we lie down next to her on our back in dead man's pose, shavasana from yoga. You can both do it. You both lie on your backs next to each other, and you take 10 deep breaths. And when you're taking these deep breaths, your focus is going to be on the sensations of the sexual energy in your sexual organs, and you're going to release your anus, which is the first chakra, and take deep breaths, and you're going to imagine the sexual energy like it's this glowing light form. It can be the color red or the color orange, but it's like this energy, light, electricity, smoke, whatever way you imagine it. And every time you breathe, you imagine it spreading throughout your entire body, and it will relax your body, and it will spread the energy throughout all the chakras, and it will also release a lot of the tension that you are feeling in your penis. Because once you reach that 70% pleasure, there's so much sexual energy in your lingam that it has to go somewhere. So if you don't stop and pause, it's going to go out, and then the sex is going to end. But if you do these pauses, the sex is going to go up and throughout your body, and then you can go back to the sex. And if you do this with the pauses, you can have sex for as long as you want, or as long as there's sexual energy in your body, because you're not losing the sexual energy by releasing it in ejaculation. You're spreading it throughout your body, and then it can just increase every time. And at the end of sex, if you do it this way, you're just going to feel like your whole body is orgasming, and your whole body is one big lingam. When they say Shiva lingam, they mean that you become the lingam. You become the penis. Your whole body is one big male lingam, penis, dick, whatever you want to call it. But it happens throughout your whole body and not just in the little organ, but your whole body becomes this big organ. And it's going to do the same for the woman that you're with. As a woman, when I do this kind of sex, eventually, when we keep going, my whole body feels like one big vagina. We call it yoni in Tantra. And I feel the sexual energy throughout my whole body, and I feel the orgasm throughout my whole body. And also the man and woman, if you're doing this together during sex, at one point, because the sexual energy is so like spread throughout the whole body, you can experience full body orgasms together. So if there's like a microcosmos in your body and there is in her body, and if we're doing this practice that I'm talking about, eventually we become like one big body and we like full body orgasm together. And I think that's one of the best things of working with your sexual energy. It's not easy to get there because there is a lot of obstacles to pass and to get through on the way there. For instance, stopping the sex is hard by itself. Your brain's going to tell you not to do it. Your desires are going to tell you to keep going. You need a lot of inner strength and inner power to actually stop and go out and to breathe. But every time we do this and we stop and we go out and we breathe and we're basically reconnecting to ourselves, we're reconnecting to our emotions, to our body, to our energy, and we are helping the body contain this very powerful, strong energy, which is sexual energy that we're not used to really containing throughout the day. And then when we're having sex with someone, suddenly it's like very overwhelming. So we want to respect that feeling of it being overwhelming, and we want to learn how to work with it in a different way. Instead of just telling myself, shut up, everything's okay in my brain, I want to be like, no, this is overwhelming. Let's take a few breaks. Let's pause in between. Let's lie on our back and just let the sensations of the sexual energy run through our body. And I did a video about this for you doing this on your own in masturbation. And I think if you do, and I'll put a link above, if you do it in masturbation enough times, it's going to be a lot easier for you to do with a partner. But then doing it with a partner, with another person and her energy, you know, there's a whole different ballgame. So you could say that doing it in masturbation is practice, like going to the gym, but with the woman is the actual thing. So it's going to be harder there. You need a partner who's loving and who will listen to you and who will agree to do this with you. And you need a partner who's compassionate to your issues and wants to help you work on them. So there are a lot of things that we need for this exercise to work, but that's the tantric exercise I wanted to talk about today. It came to me when I had sex recently, and that's what we do, because I have sex with a tantric partner and I'm a tantric woman, and we both work with our sexual energy. And I can tell you that these pauses, like as a woman, I feel more respected when the pauses happen, and I feel more held, and I feel like he's not just like this horny monster like wanting to come, but there's an actual human being with me who feels me and who is calm and relaxed with me and is like, you know, let's take this slow. And that makes me feel held and safe, and it helps me open up and enjoy sex a lot more than I used to with men who are just racing for their orgasms and leaving me behind. So that's what I wanted to talk about today. Thank you for watching this video. If you did like it, I upload a lot of these videos on my YouTube channel. You're more than welcome to subscribe. And I recently opened these memberships that you can do on my channel. Some of them are just to support me and the content that I create, but another levels of membership, I'm actually going to be uploading videos with practices, and I'm going to talk about the breathing techniques and the different techniques with the chakras and the body, and also the different emotional issues and blockages and how to work on them. So if that's interesting, please join my memberships. And yeah, I would love to hear from you in the comments what you thought about this video and the rest of my videos. It helps me a lot to understand like who I'm talking to, and you know, if you've been doing these practices and you have experience, and I can tell you I've had amazing comments until now, so please keep them coming. They help me a lot, and they are amazing and it's very like exciting to read them. So thank you for sharing, and good luck with the exercise that I talked about today. And yeah, thanks for listening, and I'll see you in my next video. And good luck again. The practices are not easy, but they're worth it. I'll see you soon.